Next up is one of our people representing San Antonio, one of our best poets, in my opinion. Mr. Joshua Lakey Hinson, up to the mic, please. Give it up for Lakey. He also has artwork for sale, and afterwards, you can meet up with him after he finishes reading if you'd like to look at some of that art and buy some.
I've lived in crack houses, met labs, 1970 Monte Carlo, South Sides, West Sides, even a $500,000 foster home. I've eaten in restaurants with names I can't pronounce and dined on foods the like, sandwiched by days of places I wouldn't for the life of me admit, and meals not deserving of the label food. My twin miscarried, unable to speak his first words, take his first step or even breathe his first breath. I've had family exist and dissolve ever since. My baby sister in a foster home gone from me 11 years. My sister in Minnesota gone for 2 after being gone for 9. Another infinitely close yet always out of reach. Recently reunited with my brother after 12 years, then a dozen plus foster brothers and foster sisters. Single serving blood, started saying ciao because it's hello, goodbye. 5 years back again with my mom after being gone for 8, and she's gone again. On my 19th birthday, a 13-year separation from my father ended when he got out of prison. He's back. Been robbed at knife point, blade brushing Adam Apple bulge, had the police knock down my front door and take my father away, drug past the cocaine kilo walls, caught my stepdad stealing medication from my mom stricken with hepatitis C on Christmas fucking day, cause broken hearted, hopeless, homeless, hungry, effect 12 pounds eaten from the NG to rise with the sun and burn. Heard rumors of my heroin overdose and subsequent crumble. Found out they started on tongues of a foster family I lived with for 8 years and haven't heard shit from them since. Once upon a time I was a front row Bible thumper, read cover to cover. Once upon another time I helped my parents boost, then watched them funnel ill-gotten gain into blue veins released without a whimper. 6 summers ago could have sat in on me teaching a Sunday school lesson. 6 seasons ago could have spent the night with me on Pressa and Lee. 6 setting suns ago could have run pawn shop, try and find enough to pay the rent. And through all this shit, I can't believe that motherfucker just said, white boy, you don't know what it's like. She has my artwork over there, the lovely Miss Amanda Flores, Yosh Garcia. It's donation only. And now I'll do a little bit lighthearted piece. Kind of. Talk is cheap. And silence is golden, but everyone's buying high and selling low, making a stock at thought only 2 cents. And you paid to listen when a picture's worth 1,000 words and you can't piece together that gadget with pictures alone. I want to paint a picture for you. I want to paint a picture for you, but I'm better behind the pen than the easel, so I'll speak and you can draw conclusions, and we'll call this an audience participation piece. And if you draw a blank, that's participation enough. Now, I think everyone's heard this story. The wise man built his house upon the stone and the foolish man upon the sand. And God built his in the clouds, which leaves me reminding him more isn't always better, as the Beatles were 1 S short a beat less but larger than his sun. And it was from his house that the winds blew and the rain fell and destroyed his beloved creation. So I'll bend these fingers over backwards, pushing forwards, screaming forwards, muted to the silence of the violence that never becomes past tense. Ilo, Ilo, Lama Sabachthani. We live in a country where the greatest powers lay at ports powdered with sand, and hearts are harder than the stone we placed there when Jesus said, let him without sin cast the first one. The day rocks were replaced with bullets. Yet, isn't it ironic? We're fighting heathens, heaving stones, crucifying them in crosshairs because it's more civilized. And we have the gall to call them terrorists when war is the greatest terror, and we wage more war than any first world country, unable to pay wages to our own inflation deflating face value. There will be no safe face at the end of our massacres. When we stand in sand, stuck between a rock and Ramses' heart, wondering how it all started, because surely this could not have been what was meant, but talk is cheap. And silence is golden, and everyone's buying high and selling low, making a stock of thought only 2 cents, and you paid to listen. Just one more for y'all. Heartfelt true story here. I use metaphors with pulled hamstrings to run marathons, having hyperboles is elephant ears to peacefully glide 5 degrees southwest of a noun called happiness that exists at the end of another dimension that presses firmly against the rhythmic rainbows that have since had the pot of gold taken by terribly taxing Tellurians, tripping on tangled tempo, wearing Odin's jockstrap as a turban while running from knife-bearing Mexican haikus with Japanese roots planted firmly in fictional storybooks. A 4-fingered librarian pins seconds before an excruciating from Uncle Sam while Hitler simultaneously tosses his salad, and Simon says no pun is intended lest virgin-toting lesbians are offended, and the book was closed but the pen wasn't finished penning, so it wrote lies and lies to beget baby lies that had orgies making smaller lies that made pygmy incest lies that choked fruit-bearing shrubs like a handicapped man with a small turkey to sustain a life that affected me less than a teardrop would the salinity of the Pacific Ocean, moments preceding an oil spill caused by not crossing the T, in a sense using T-double-O when it should have just used T-O, which should not be confused with Terrell Owens or orange juice with a splash of cheap vodka stolen from a bomb that died on College Street while being only 3 paces from an eternity, with Pamela and Tommy Lee Jones singing, "Crack and smack can break my bones, but hallucinogens can never hurt me." Whereupon Edgar Allan Poe jumps from the shadows, gouges the silicone from Pamela's breast, and buries it beneath this floor, along with the cat and a raven toddler, never to hear another heartbeat again. Thank you.